Planet Dolan.
From blowing up condom balloons to scanning a dick pic, the Planet Dolan Crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the weird things we've been caught doing. I'm Hellbent, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by XoXBlowtorchXoX. When Pandora was younger, she was really into a creepy show full of demons and horrifying creatures. Then, when she was around 8 years old, she decided to get artistic and paint a few of her Barbies like the creatures. When Pandora's parents walked in on her, they thought she belonged in a mental asylum. It wasn't because of the drawings, though. She had cut herself with scissors and covered the Barbies in her blood. Number 9 was submitted by Mental Hippos. When Pringle was 13, he was writing a blog and wanted to add in a GIF with his next post. Pringle decided to search up funny anime GIF. As Pringle was scrolling through, his mom then entered the room to talk to him. Halfway through the conversation, she looked at Pringle's computer screen and stared. It wasn't until after she left that Pringle looked back to his screen. There was a GIF of some anime girl getting motorboated. She hasn't mentioned it since, which has almost made it even worse. Although if you ask me, he got off lucky. I've seen some of the fan art we get. Number 8 was submitted by Tom Odiyama. One time when Sid was around 12 years old, he was bored and decided to bounce around on the bed for some reason. But Sid, he wasn't jumping. He was bouncing while laying down with his hips flying into the air. He was even singing! Sid's dad came up, wondering what the commotion was. When he came in, he saw Sid hips in the air wearing no pants with his hands instinctively covering his crotch. He sat down beside Sid and started having the talk about when one has the urge to touch themselves. Sid interrupted him by saying, "I was just bouncing on the bed, Dad." Number 7 was submitted by OprahsLeftEar. When Spinal Palm was little, his mom bought a brand new paper scanner. Spinal Palm thought it was so cool, and it wasn't long before he got an idea. Spinal Palm put the scanner on the floor, pulled his pants down, and slapped his privates on the scanner. Just when the scan was finished, Spinal Palm's mom came downstairs and asked what he was doing. Spinal Palm said he wasn't doing anything! But just as he did, the paper came out of the scanner. Spinal Palm's mom picked the paper up, saw what was on it, and told him to never do that again. Luckily, he got away with only getting yelled at. I hope she at least hit that thing with some Windex or something. Number 6 was submitted by Snart2000. When Ramona was 9, she was really lonely and wanted to know how it felt to go to a party. So one day after school, she ran home from her bus stop, grabbed her cat Senshi, and went to her bedroom. Soon after, her brother heard music coming from her room and came to see what was going on. When he opened the door, he saw Ramona wearing her mom's tube dress and dancing with her hairless cat. For a minute, they just stood there staring at each other. He finally said,
Wanna play soccer?
They both acted like it never happened and just played a game of soccer. Number 5 was submitted by How's About Dad. One morning, Princess Proton's mom said she could go play while she made breakfast. Princess Proton went upstairs and snuck into her mom's room. Princess Proton then looked into her dad's drawer and took out 5 condoms. She was only 7 years old at the time, so she thought they were balloons. And because she thought they were balloons, she blew them up and made a store outside. She was standing out by the sidewalk selling condom balloons for 5 cents. Hey, that's a hell of a deal. Incidentally, Princess Proton's neighbors never came over to her house ever again. Number 4 was submitted by I Hate Monday 727. When Andy was little, her parents would often leave her home alone because she was responsible and looked older than she was. Of course, whenever they were gone, Andy would just roll on the floor, eat cranberry sauce, and play the theme song to iCarly while just wearing her underwear. One day, Andy's dad came home an hour early, and there she was on the floor in her underwear, eating cranberry sauce with iCarly on the highest volume. Her dad still makes fun of her to this day. Number 3 was submitted by PitFiend007. One time, XoX's friends dared him to masturbate to gay porn, even though he was totally straight. It was very weird for XoX, but he did it. And as he was doing it, his parents chose that opportunity to walk in to see him masturbating to two men having sex. XoX's parents made him sit down with them, where they told him everything was alright and that he could tell them that he was gay. XoX tried to convince him that he wasn't gay, but it took about 20 minutes of him talking about masturbating to convince him that it was all just a dare and he's totally not gay. Number 2 was submitted by TotallyRandom626. One time, when Tolop was home alone, he was hanging upside down, shirtless off his couch, listening to Baby by Justin Bieber and screaming along to it. That was until Tolop's sister came home early, bringing 3 friends to stay overnight. Tolop was still singing at the top of his lungs as his little sister and 3 other girls walked in on him, still shirtless, still upside down, and singing along to Justin Bieber. They laughed so hard and so loud that they all fell down, and Tolop tumbled off the couch in surprise. The worst part is his sister got it all on video, which we don't have here for you today. What's the weirdest thing I've been caught doing? When I was a teenager, I had a sudden nosebleed and I couldn't find any paper towels. Couldn't find them in the cabinet, couldn't find them in the kitchen, couldn't find them anywhere, so I looked in my sister's room. They weren't there either. But she did have tampons, and those stopped blood, so I grabbed a handful of them, jammed them on my nose, and stopped my nosebleed. Once the bleeding stopped, I put the bloody tampons on my table and kind of forgot about them. Later during the day, my sister came in and saw the bloody tampons on my desk and had quite a few questions, not the least of which being where her tampons went. Took me a long time to explain that one, but hey, at least my nosebleed was taken care of. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the most embarrassing things your parents ever did? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below and you might be featured in a future countdown.
This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys.
Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.